This is KGW News at noon.
Our top story today at noon, Salem police say 3 people were taken to the hospital after a shooting in a Fred Meyer parking lot. We don't have many details at this point and don't know the conditions of the people who went to the hospital, but here's what we do know. It happened around 8 o'clock this morning in the parking lot of the Market Street Northeast Fred Meyer. Police say no one else is in danger right now, so the store is back open. After the shooting, though, Fred Meyer released a statement saying they're saddened by what happened and are cooperating with police in the investigation. We'll update you both online and on air as we get more information. And new information this noon, police now say a second car was involved in a deadly crash that killed a pedestrian in Vancouver. Investigators say just before 8 o'clock last night, the pedestrian was hit on Northeast 4th Plain Boulevard near the intersection of 137th Avenue. The car stopped, causing a backup. But that is when police say another car swerved around the line, running the pedestrian over who was lying in the middle of the road. Then they drove away. When first responders arrived, bystanders were giving the pedestrian CPR, but the person died. Police say the first driver stayed at the scene. Investigators said the hit and run car is a dark-colored sedan. We'll update you as we learn more. We also have another update from another deadly crash that happened this morning on Northeast Burnside Road and North Main Avenue in Gresham. The road was closed earlier, but it's now back open. Investigators have not released much information. We do know that at around 3:45 this morning, officers responded to a call involving at least one car and a pedestrian. When officers arrived, they found the pedestrian had died at the scene. We'll update you when more information comes in. And this noon, we now know the identity of the person killed in the Lentz neighborhood last Friday. Portland police are investigating what happened as a homicide and have identified the person who died as 37-year-old Philip Pierce. This picture is from his family. On Friday morning, police responded to the area near Southeast Suncrest Drive and 92nd for a missing persons report. Police say they found Pierce dead, locked inside his home. The medical examiner determined someone shot and killed him. We spoke with one neighbor who says they didn't know much about Pierce.
He seemed like he was working outside a lot on cars and motorcycles, but they kept to themselves, like they didn't interact with the neighbors too much.
Police have not made any arrests, and at this point, there's no word on any suspects. A senior care facility in Sandy that's facing multiple violations has abruptly shut down after one of the people living there died. The state says people living at the facility are not safe. But as Ashley Grams found, the closure has left families trying to figure out what to do next.
Mount Hood Senior Living. It's a residential and memory care facility in Sandy. 71-year-old Bonnie Everett is a resident suffering from dementia.
Bonnie is great.
But on Friday, Bonnie was forced to move out. So were all the other residents.
Floored, angry, completely frustrated. I could barely believe that this was actually happening on a Friday night.
Melissa Fisher is Bonnie's niece, shocked that the Oregon Department of Human Services had shut down Mount Hood Senior Living and suspended their license.
I know that everybody in that facility is reeling right now.
An email sent Friday afternoon told Bonnie's family that residents would be relocated by midnight that same day.
And our loved ones were literally thrown out and taken to places and not well communicated with, nor given any point of contact to help us over the weekend.
A DHS document explaining the suspension lists 7 violations, alleging the memory care facility didn't provide a safe sanitary kitchen, didn't properly train staff, and failed to safely administer medication. But the first violation says Mount Hood Senior Living did not provide a safe environment altogether. In December of 2023, this woman, a resident of the facility, wandered away from the memory care unit and was found dead a day later. Now residents and their families are left trying to decide what to do next.
How are we supposed to collectively get my aunt to a point of stability again? This has been wholly disruptive to her and to the rest of her family.
Fisher's aunt is staying in another assisted facility in Oregon City for now.
It is not easy to move somebody from one facility to another facility, and these are people who are very vulnerable, and a lot of them have really significant health problems.
Fisher says she's still waiting to hear from DHS.
Help us figure out how quickly we can resolve this in a way that honors the care needs of our aunt.
That was Ashley Graham's reporting. A spokesperson for DHS tells us that Mount Hood Senior Living has the right to fight the license suspension and can ask for a hearing. And a quick heads up for anyone who might be driving across the Morrison Bridge today. Multnomah County officials say to expect delays for frequent bridge lifts until 3 p.m. today. They say this is part of their work from over the weekend to grease the bridge's gears. Lifts are expected to last 15 to 20 minutes each, so definitely plan accordingly or use a different route to get where you need to go. Also, Amtrak service set to resume tomorrow morning after another landslide disrupted service between Portland and Seattle. The slide happened near Philida. It was the third slide last week in that same spot. Amtrak provided bus service for passengers. If you're traveling by train anytime soon, check Amtrak's website before heading out. Landslides, of course, always a concern when we get all that rain. But Chris, gosh, what crazy weather we've had. Freezing a couple weeks back to a record high in some spots yesterday.
We're actually closing in on a record high here in Portland today. And I thought, well, is it in reach? I don't know, because if the east breeze let some of that cold air leak out of the gorge, we probably wouldn't get there. That was the case yesterday. But real quick, the record high in Portland today is 62. Salem hit 66 yesterday. That was a record high. Eugene hit 69 yesterday. That was a record high. So really warm stuff, spring-like warmth across parts of the region yesterday. And we're back in the same territory again today now that the fog has burned off and the cloudiness has burned off as well. This is a gorgeous shot from Timberline Lodge, pointed south towards Mount Jefferson. Three Sisters off in the distance there. You can see the Central Oregon Cascades, gorgeous. It is 57 degrees last check at PDX, which is our warmest temperature of the new year so far. And elsewhere, temperatures are inching up towards 60. Meanwhile, we contrast that with east side, the east side, I should say. This is over in the Dalles from Oregon's Veterans Home in the Dalles. They are socked in with fog right now with 2-mile visibility, and that's keeping temperatures down in the mid-30s. So not everybody's basking in that warm sunshine out there right now. And I did want to point out that while we are seeing some breaks in the clouds for the west side of the state, our next rainmaker is not too far away. That will likely bring us some rain overnight tonight, and our forecast turns a little drippy as we head into Tuesday and especially Wednesday. More on that in a minute, but for now, 57, we may inch a degree or two higher, and a reminder that 62 is the record high for today here in Portland. So maybe we'll take it because the rain is back tomorrow on Wednesday, and then cooler temperatures with Cascade Pass level snow in my 7-day forecast. We'll check that out in a few minutes.
Getting close.